everyone, and happy Winning Wednesday. And today marks a special celebration. And we are going to talk about how I reached 4,000 downloads. So, congratulations to me. We did it again. I'm live right now on my YouTube channel at Let's Break the Silence with Angeline. I am live on my Instagram also at Angeline underscore Constantinu. And I'm also live today on TikTok because by popular demand, people have asked me when I am going live on TikTok. So you can follow me on TikTok at Angeline underscore Break the Silence with Angeline. So welcome everyone. We did it again, 4,000 podcast downloads and counting. And that means simply this, that every week when I upload a new podcast episode, guess what? There are 4,000 people who are downloading my podcast. So this comes from a single story of survival to a global movement of healing, empowerment, and faith. So today I am going to be sharing the behind the scenes of this powerful milestone, the journey that brought me here, and what's next for Let's Break the Silence movement. So whether you are just starting your healing journey or have been part of this mission from the beginning, this is for you. And I am really super excited. Sorry, I meant to say. Okay, good morning, everyone. Good morning on TikTok. Please, if you are tuning live on my TikTok channel right now, please tap on that screen and share the live out with your friends because someone may need to hear this powerful message today. So welcome in, everyone. I'm just going to go ahead and speak right now. So I am honored and humbled to be live today. So today I am celebrating a huge milestone, and this milestone just means the world to me. And I want to share a little bit where I was when I started my podcast. So I started my podcast 6 years ago based on a vision and a dream that I had to empower women to break their silence and to share their real life stories of how they overcame domestic violence. And the guests that I have had on my podcast, they became authors, speakers, coaches, and they had to overcome the fear of self-doubt. So, for example, imposter syndrome. I remember going live for the first time in May of 2018. The phone was literally shaking, and I was in my one-bedroom apartment in New York, and I hit the live button on my phone, and I remember tears of joy. It was just, I had so many tears in my face. I didn't think that I was going to make the live. I honestly did not feel that I was going to, get through the live because my mentor had told me, you must share your story. You must share your story with the world because no one knows who you are. So that is something that I had to do. And thank you so much. So let me just see. ROI Kingdom, thank you so much. I appreciate your support. So the fear, I had to overcome the fear of self-doubt and imposter syndrome, meaning, I wasn't good enough to go live. I'm not good enough to be a podcast host. I am not good enough to be a women's empowerment partner. So if this is you, I can feel you. If I started my podcast to break the silence, to amplify voices, to create a healing space for women, and also to create a safe community for women. And that was so powerful to me. I mean, I had the passion and drive to do this. And honestly, you guys, for ladies and gentlemen who are joining my live this morning, that's not easy to take the phone and go live and be open and be vulnerable in sharing your story. So I had to overcome imposter syndrome, meaning simply that just means, what are the lies that you are telling yourself? What are you telling yourself? I mean, that is something that I really, really had to overcome, was to overcome the lies and self-doubt that were creeping on me. So God called me. I leaned into God. And I leaned into God to put this calling in my heart. And God did put this calling in my heart to start my podcast. And like I said, it came from a vision and a dream. I had no experience in podcast hosting. I did not have any experience starting a podcast. So I actually began my podcast and began my journey 2 months before COVID happened. And little did I know that, 2 months later, we were hit pretty hard here, especially here in the US. So, and I talk a lot about the power of faith and community. So that was another reason to create a community of to create a safe space community for women to amplify their voices. That is so important, because 16 years ago, I overcame domestic violence, and it wasn't easy. And I didn't have it all figured out in the beginning. In fact, I had a mentor, I had an attorney who guided me, I had support from the New York State Police and local sheriff's office. So I didn't have it all figured out, but I leaned into God, and God called in me to not only, I escaped domestic violence, but God also called me to share my journey with the world. And that resulted in 7 million views on Facebook in March of 2018. So that is huge, everyone. That is huge. So you never know whose life you are going to impact. You don't know that. And I leaned into God, and God led the way for me. So I want to share a moment when faith moved me forward. So I believe in God and faith, and I started to believe in myself and have faith in myself, and that propelled me to move forward. And I remember there was a special guest on my podcast, and this was actually 2 months ago. She enrolled in my 9-week coaching program. And my coaching program is empowerment, healing, and mastery. And so it's a 9-week program that takes you on a healing journey. So the healing techniques that I learned and implemented from my mentor, I put that in my coaching program. So my guest, she lives in Australia. She's not a guest. She's a very good friend of mine now. I mean, she's like my sister. Okay. She was struggling with self-limiting beliefs. And what I mean by this is that when when a woman goes through domestic violence and they've been beaten down to the ground, literally, emotionally, she was struggling with self-limiting beliefs, meaning there were a lot of things that were holding her down. And I remember when I shared her story on my YouTube channel 2 months ago. You could go check that out, by the way. I'm on YouTube at Let's Break the Silence with Angeline. It's the interview that I had with Trisha Meneses. And she is, she's a single mom, has a teenager child who has autism. He is autistic. And she had to really, really dig deep, and she had to do the shadow work. So she had to do a lot of shadow work. So, so we really, really had to tap in, like I worked with her literally for 9 weeks. And thank you so much, everyone, for tuning into my TikTok channel. Let me just answer this question really quickly. I do travel. I'm going to make that announcement at the end of this live. Okay. So thank you. I appreciate your comment. Elroy Kingdom from Kenya. Yes, I have friends and leaders who live in Kenya and South Africa. So thank you so much. I will get to that in 1 minute. Okay. So when she shared her powerful testimony of not only overcoming domestic violence, but also she found her true passion, and that was to help single moms who have autistic children and, help single moms with their productivity and help them, overcome these struggles, because as a single autistic mom, they struggle, okay, with time management. So she actually rediscovered that, and that was huge for her. And it's a passion that she has, and that passion is to empower single moms. So I'm very proud of her, and we actually had a nice talk last night. So she was able to tap into her inner self, and we had to. So when I talk about shadow work, that means peeling back the layers of what is the root cause. Like, what is holding you back? Do you want to start a business? Do you want to even just start a podcast, or start a new business, or become involved in the online space? Because a lot of women struggle with that, because they feel that they are not good enough because of some traumatic moment that they've had in their lives. So the interview that I did, and it's on my YouTube channel, that really empowered a lot of women to take that next step and lead in faith. So I just want to say thank you. I'm speaking from the heart that this is a movement. I mean, literally, I began this movement so I could empower other women, that they can step into victory, that they can step into their power and their truth and reclaim their confidence. Because I can tell you this, life is worth living. Life is worth living. So we're just getting started. And upcoming projects that are coming up is, I actually was a guest on a national podcast show. I posted a reel on all my social media platforms. So please go check that out, and check out all my content on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and also Facebook. And a huge movement is happening in London. So I will be speaking at the Raw Real live event in London on June 1st, and that is going to be held at Kingston upon Thames. And I have a table reserved of women who want to attend that event. So if you would like to attend that event, please send me a private message either on Facebook or Instagram. That's the best way to get a hold of me. And also, so that's going to be on Saturday, June 1st in Kingston upon Thames, south of London. And I'm super excited because I was actually on the Real and Raw live podcast show. Her name is Claire Garner. She is amazing. She selected me as one of the speakers to speak at the live event. And and actually, okay. So anyways, so yeah, so I invite you to come, and I have some tickets that are reserved, and I have a table reserved. So if you would like to attend the event, please send me a private message, and then I will get you your ticket. Okay. So Another announcement that I want to make is that I launched a free it's called faith-based journal prompts. So I just launched that 2 days ago, and actually it's at letsbreakthesilence.com/journal prompts. So please download your free guide and take the next step in your healing. And I am offering this as a free guide. So this is going to help you on your healing journey, because I was actually having a conversation because there's a lot of women who reach out to me, and and they ask me, how do I start the healing process? And the best way to start the healing process is journaling and focusing on gratitude and the things that you are grateful for today. In other words, living in the present moment. Okay. So you could download that guide at letsbreakthesilence.com/journal prompts. And please tag a friend who needs a breakthrough today. And also, I am encouraging you to follow me on Spotify and Apple at Let's Break the Silence with Angeline. Like I said, we have 4,000 downloads, and now my goal is to get to 5,000 downloads and then to go to scale to 10K. Okay. So please go to my Spotify and Apple, Let's Break the Silence with Angeline. And I would encourage you to give me a review and ratings, because the more ratings that I have on my podcast and reviews, the more that my content will be pushed out. So I'm encouraging you to do that, please, today. I would really, really appreciate that. Okay, so the next thing that I want to say is, so my final words of encouragement. So you are not alone. You are not too old or too far behind. Your comeback starts now. And I just feel so happy and grateful for all of the support. And what I want to do is I want to read something that I posted the other day. So let me just go to my Facebook for 1 second. So hang on, TikTok, okay? And then I will get back to you. Okay, so let's just see, because I did post a quote the other day. So let's see if, okay. So I had a little bit of a timeout here. And also, by the way, let me just announce that we reached 1.85K subscribers on my YouTube channel. That's huge. Okay. So we're celebrating today. So my message to you today is to celebrate your wins, whether they are big or small. And I will tell you why. Because the small wins lead to the big wins. So so when, if you, celebrate, I always say, let's celebrate our wins. And this is a huge win. Now, I remember when I first started my podcast, I celebrated a small win, which was 500 downloads. And that was a huge win. That's a win, everyone, because like I said, your small wins lead to the big wins in your life. So let me just see if I could find the quote here. Which, let me just see. And if I can't find it, okay. Well, actually, this is not a Bible scripture, but let me just read what I wrote last week. Okay. You must develop the ability to be disliked, to free yourself from the prisoner of other people's opinions. So let me repeat that again. You must develop the ability to be disliked in order to free yourself from the prisoner of other people's opinions. That is huge, because one of the things that I am going to be talking about at this Real, Raw, and Live event is that, first of all, you can't please everyone. And I got away from people pleasing, because when that starts to happen, everyone, you start to lose yourself in the process. And you can't please everyone. If someone says like, do this, do that, or even some family members are not going to support you and they may be just trying to tell you what to do. And what my response is that, you know what, if it doesn't align with my mission and vision, then I'm not going to do it. And I struggled with people pleasing for many years. Because I was conditioned to believe that I had to do what other people told me to do, regardless of whether it aligned with me or not. And this happens a lot in cultures. And for me, that is one thing that I had to overcome. So I was very successful in overcoming that fear of people pleasing. So anyways, so everyone, I want to thank you all. I'm going to stay live on TikTok just for a little bit longer because like I said, I haven't been live on TikTok in a long time. But if you found value in this live today, please hashtag value in the comments below. And if you are watching the replay, please hashtag replay. Okay. So what I want to say is thank you so much for supporting my podcast. We are in our 6th season of my podcast, Let's Break the Silence with Angeline. So please follow me on Spotify and Apple. And also, what I want to say is this. Please grab my free journal prompts here. So please go to letsbreakthesilence.com/journal prompts and to start your healing journey right now, because your healing journey starts right now. And also please go to my website at letsbreakthesilence.com. Go explore, please, my new website. Subscribe to my newsletter and book a breakthrough call with me. You can also book a breakthrough call with me as well. And by the way, my coaching program is just for women only. So actually, I want to read the Bible verse. I just pulled up a Bible verse. So hang tight before I end the live. So a powerful Bible verse that aligns beautifully with me and my mission and my message of breakthrough, faith, and purpose follows. This comes from Isaiah chapter 43, verse 19, NIV version. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. Wow, that's a powerful Bible verse. So, this verse reflects the heart of my podcast journey. You can turn pain into purpose. And my podcast is paving the new paths for women to heal, rise, and lead. And it's a divine reminder that God is not finished with your story. He is just getting started, and you have the power to rewrite your story. So anyways, everyone, I want to wish you a great day, and thank you so much. This live will be uploaded on my Spotify channel later today at Let's Break the Silence with Angeline. So you will have a chance to listen to the podcast. And also, please give me a review, an honest review. And I welcome feedback. I really, really do. Ratings and feedback is just going to help me create more content, because I'm in my 6th season and I'm not quitting. Okay. So anyways, everyone, have a great day. Blessings and love to you all. Take care. Bye.